Hi there, and welcome to the next lesson in the module. This one is about word problems. These are application problems for what we have been looking at, the percents. And this is page 38 in your work text. We have covered basic percents, so we'll be using those skills to do these problems. And you will notice that I did provide you with some tables. These will just help us set up the problem. You don't have to have these to draw to do the problems, but they just help you to organize the information a little bit better. And I apologize that I'm stumbling over my words. I just had lunch and I'm super sleepy, so hopefully this will wake me up just a little bit. Okay, page 38, problem number 1. The movie theater has 250 seats. 225 seats were sold for the current showing. What percent of the seats were empty? And it just occurs to me that there is a grammar error in this problem that I made. And you may have spotted it, but let me go ahead and point that out. Grammar is not my thing, but I should not have done this. You would never start a sentence with a number like that. I should have written out 225. So I apologize for that. And you don't have to fix it. I just don't like leaving mistakes. Okay, the question is what percent of the seats are empty? So we are looking for a percent, and we are looking for empty seats. So if we take a look at this table, I want to really zoom in here just a minute. And I won't do this on every problem, but just to get you familiar with how this works. The first thing we have to decide is the variable of analysis in our problem. So what is it that we are looking at? We're looking at movie seats. And how are the seats different? How do they vary? Well, they're either empty or they are sold. I'm using the word from the problem. You could say empty and full. You could say sold and not sold, whatever you want to say. But I like to use the words from my problem because that helps me to organize. So 225 were sold. And then we have another number here, the 250 seats. So we need to put this information onto our table or into our table. So the variable of analysis is whether the seats are empty or sold. And then we have actual numbers and percentages and totals to deal with. So let's take the 250. The movie theater has 250 seats. So that is a total. I'm going to put that right here. 250 seats total. And then they tell me that 225 seats were sold. So I'm going to put that right here. So how could we find the empty seats? How could I figure out the number of empty seats? Well, I could take the total, 250, minus 225, and that would leave me with 25 seats that were actually empty. But the question says what percent of the seats are empty. So the answer that I'm trying to find would actually be whatever goes right here, because we're looking at percent empty. So whatever this number is will be our answer. So we have to do a little bit of math, which is no surprise. One thing that you need to know that a total percent is always 100%. So under percent total, it will always be 100%. That is the most you can have on a percent problem like this. So the 250, that's the whole theater, is the 100%. And we want to know the percent empty. So here's how I would set up my problem. I want to know the empty percent out of all seats. So we know that there are 25 empty ones out of 250. And we know that the 100% is the total. So we're about to find our answer. We're going to multiply the 25 times 100, and that is 2,500. And remember, this is not a proper math equation. I'm showing you keystrokes here. And then you divide that by 250, and you will get 10. So this is telling me that 10% are empty seats. So that's this number, which means 90% are sold. So if you can fill in this table, you will find your answer. Now, you don't have to fill in the table to find your answer, but I recommend it because it keeps your thinking organized. And with word problems, that's where people make mistakes. It's not with the math, it's with the organization. I used to teach a word problem solving class, and we used a little acronym to help us remember the steps. And it was always the organizing step that got folks in trouble. So this is a good way to organize. I'm going to stop this video, and I will start the next problem in the next video.